Okay, welcome back to the second stage of your manicure. You'll notice that I've changed the towel, couch roll for the client, just so it's not soggy and wet. I've removed the manicure soak bowls that contained the hand soak, and I've now replaced it with a large water bowl of warm water that I'm going to use to soak off. You can use some more of this in there if you want to, but if you've used it in your manicure hand soak bowls, you should be fine. So, whilst I was working on this hand, doing the cuticle work, this one would have been having the exfoliation on, which I'm going to show you now. But the reason I work that way is so that at any given point, one hand is always having something done to it whilst the other one is being worked on the next stage. This is good for time effectiveness, and it also means that your client's hands aren't going to sit there getting cold whilst they're waiting for the next stage of the manicure to happen. So, I'm going to now apply the exfoliator or hand scrub. This is a new one. These are mulberry and pomegranate sorbet hand scrubs. This is from the Queso Manicure range. This is a great range for starting out your manicure treatments. I'm just going to get into the pot. I keep the silver foil on so that I can reseal it, so that it's just kept it a little bit intact underneath. Now, obviously, I don't want to pop my hand into the pot because I don't want to contaminate it. So instead, I'm going to use a cotton bud, or you can use a waxing spatula to apply your product, and this is how you would do it. So I'm going to apply the product to the client's hand, right up to the wrist, because we always cover the wrist when we're doing a manicure. Make sure I've covered all the areas. Turn her hand over, and then I'm going to apply to the underside as well. My lid back on my product, like always. I'm going to keep that spatula because I can use it again as long as I use the other side, and I'm going to give her hands a nice exfoliation treatment, working into the hand all the way down the fingers, rubbing the product in. Exfoliation will remove dead skin cells and will allow for the hands to be nice and soft. It also comes before our mask because we want to remove some of that protective barrier of dead skin to allow our products that we're going to use in our hand mask to penetrate the skin better. So whilst that one's on, I'm going to ask her to pop her hand in to the soak bowl. I'm going to come back and rinse it for her. These are facial bowls. They're nice and big. They're nice and deep. I'll pop it back in and I'll get into those corners. Nice and deep. Hand over for me. Perfect. I've got a towel ready prepped for my client to pop her hand into because I don't want her to get cold, whilst I exfoliate the other hand. That spatula can now go straight into the waste bin. I popped it onto my hand that time instead of onto the client's hand. It doesn't make much difference really on how you apply it, either or. Rubbing all the way down onto the other side. My client's got a bracelet on that she's not able to remove, so just be aware of that, that if you find yourself with a client who can't take her jewellery off, that you're just conscious of not covering it in product too much. Try and work over it the best you can. Okay, let's rinse you off. The sponges are always nice to help remove the product. On the other side. Smells lovely. Okay, I'm going to remove this soak bowl out of the way. Obviously, we're monitoring health and safety and we don't want any accidents to occur. Take this one out, wrap this one up for her. I'll have this one out, please. So now she's ready, she's exfoliated, and I'm able to now do her hand mask. Now, her hand being a bit drier when the hand mask goes on is not a bad thing. So just check and make sure that all the exfoliating product is removed, which it is. Sometimes you may have a few little bit grains. You can just give them a wipe off. It doesn't matter if they're there. And that's prepped, ready to go. Okay, so we're going to be using the cranberry and cocoa butter hand mask today. You can use this hand mask by itself with a bag and mitts, or you can use this with a bag and heated mittens, depending on what extras you want to add into your manicure treatment. Today we're just going to use the traditional mitts. It's also really good for putting underneath paraffin treatments, and we'll show you how to do one of those on a separate video. So I'm going to apply the mask onto my client's hand and wrist, going up to about the same area that I did with the exfoliator. Put plenty on because we want the product to absorb into her skin. So you don't have to be too stingy with this one. And then I'm going to bag her. Equally, if you don't have any bags, you can use cling film and you can wrap your client's hand up in cling film if you want to pop it over for me. Wrap it all the way up. Seal it at the wrist and then pop it into my mitten. The mittens have little sticky plastic on, Velcro on, so tighten it up and then get your client to relax and pop that to one side. Then I'm going to take the other hand back, just make sure she's nice and dry. She is. And I'm going to repeat the process on the other hand. I'm going to avoid her jewellery though, because I don't want to get product all over it. So I'm not going to go quite as far. There we go. Get rid of my mask brush into my soak bowl, and I will wash that once I've finished the treatment. And seal her up. Okay, the client can relax. I'm going to change my tissue again, just because it's covered in oil from the exfoliator, and I don't want any debris to be in the nails and on the nail beds when I come to my polishing. So a fresh bit of couch roll. You can split your couch roll in half to save your salon and your business a few pennies. Cost effectiveness is something that we're always looking to maintain. So you can split it in half and pop it down ready to go. So a mask should stay on the hands for 5 to 10 minutes, allowing for the product absorption to be maximised into the hands, and the client will have lovely, smooth, soft, silky hands when we take it off. So I'm now going to remove these for my client and then move on to the next stage of manicure, which is massage.